Hi everyone, this is Amol Puri. I am a second year student and I am in IT branch. So I am currently an Exocom member in BVPIEEE. So this session is basically to address all your queries related to the selection of Exocom 2021 and guide you how to ace the interviews and other things. So, first of all, we have prepared a list of some questions that might be coming up in your minds, and we'll answer them. And then, once we are over with this thing, you can put up your queries either in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and then, let us know your doubts, and we'll clear them up. So, the first question that has come up is membership compulsory for being an Exocom member or not? So, having an IEEE membership is not compulsory to give the interview. But once you are selected as an Exocom member in BVP IEEE, it is mandatory for you to take up the membership. So the cost of the membership and other things, all these details will be conveyed to you later on. But you have to take the membership once you have been selected as an Exocom member. So that was one doubt that came up lot of times. And another question that came up with us was, can only volunteers apply for Exocom? So it is not like that only volunteers can apply for Exocom. If you haven't applied as a volunteer or you haven't worked as a volunteer with us, still you can apply for the Exocom. So yes, it's not mandatory that you have to be a volunteer to apply as an Exocom member. If you have the right skill set and interest, so you can apply as an Exocom member, and there are chances that you can get selected too. Another question is that why interviews? So basically, interviews are conducted to test your abilities, that whether you are suitable for your preferred post or not. Because otherwise, we won't know that whether you'll be able to work with us or work in your preferred role. So that is why the interviews are held to judge whether you'll be able to justify your preferred role or not. So yes, and yes, so I think now you can also put up your questions if you have any. You can write your queries in the chat box also, or you can unmute yourselves too and ask your doubt. We'll be happy to clarify all your doubts.
Okay, so I have a doubt that what are the responsibilities that Execom member take up, and how much time, like in a day, we need to give once we are an Execom member?
So it's, basically you don't have to do any times for the Exocom. So it's specifically we are creating.
Your voice is not clear.
Yeah,
Okay, let me take that question up. So there is no fixed routine, or you can say time that you need to be on your desk, or say work for a particular duration of time. It all depends on one, the chapter you are in, two, the event the society is hosting, and three, what all initiatives are you taking by yourself. So there is no fixed calendar or say timeline for you to do some work. It all depends on how the situation is, what all your society, what all your chapter, what all your peers are demanding of you. You may be able to finish that work in say 10 minutes, or maybe it could take you an hour or so. But generally, the you can say time that is uh, needs to be devoted cannot be averaged out to every day. Some days you might have something to do, the other days you might not. So there is no particular time that you need to dedicate every day.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I have an idea to streamline this process. Does anybody of you have any doubts regarding to the form that we have circulated for the registration purpose?
Nope, it was pretty clear at
Okay,
form
great.
submissions.
Okay, great. So Amol already shared with you that having a membership is important to become a part of BVPIEEE. I would like to reiterate that point. The membership right now is at a 50% off. You can use code future50 with no space in between and all caps. 5050 is the ending. So we are not sure till when IEEE will continue this coupon code. So I would prefer, or I would suggest you guys to buy this membership now. It is at a 50% discount. Even we are not aware when it will end. It is not in our hands. It is the IEEE international office that decides whether to continue with the discount or what amount of discount is to be provided. So that was one thing that I would like to add here. Okay, now moving on to the questions. Anybody else who has something to ask?
We are
How
chatting.
do we decide? How do we decide what post we should apply for? Like, I have not even worked as a volunteer, so I'm a bit
Okay,
confused, and I'm in first year.
okay, cool. So that is a genuine question. Everybody might have this query. So thank you for putting that up. There are a few ways that you can decide on which position or which post you should apply in. One, you should look at what your interests are. Now, being in first year, you might not know what all your interests are. Like in first year, I was exploring app development, web development, robotics, photography, and whatnot. So I had my feet in all these areas. So you need to first narrow down on what are the main interests as of chapters of society. So that was one thing that I started with. Eventually, I ended up with robotics as my core interest. So then I switched to robotics chapter. So you need to first identify what kind of a cohort do you want to be in. Moving on, the second criteria would be what kind of a work do you actually enjoy doing. Say you are a creative person, you like writing. Let us assume you like writing. So then you will be better suited to say you want to go into app development and you love writing. Then CS department or CS chapter, inside CS chapter you could go in for P&D department. The similar thing could be said if you are into robotics, if you have keen interest in robotics and you have a lot of projects and ideas that you want to work on, then inside RAS chapter you can go into the R&D department. So this is how you choose based on your interest, not only in the domain but also what your personal goals are. uh, is there any other clarification that you would need for this answer?
No, thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Shishit. This is Aditya, second year, EC.
Hi Aditya.
Actually, I didn't work like from very first year. I have never been into the society, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
planning to take this one. So my one doubt is like there is a computer society as well in the society.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know anything like in computer from scratch, or you know some basic portion as well, so can we like get into that society, or we should think like we should take something else? Or we are like keen interested to learn that computer thing, but we don't know anything from scratch or basic, or we know the basic knowledge only.
Okay, so let me take this question generally so that you can better relate to what I'm going to say here. So let us assume you are in a society, okay, and then a society, say computer society, wants to conduct a workshop, right? So a workshop could be in a general, say, introduction to programming. It could be introduction to machine learning, or say advanced machine learning using say NLP or some advanced topic like that. Or maybe it could be robotics, introduction to robotics, some sensors, some actuators, something like that. Or even it could be, say, something in our SICs, it could be under Drishti, you could be doing a photography introduction or something like that. Or maybe you're into gaming, then we have Gamma for gaming, multimedia, and arts. So depending on uh, not only do these chapters you can say conduct workshops, but also guide students in this domain. Like if you are a fresher, you would consult the team at say CS for your doubts in say Flutter or something like that. So we prefer students who have taken some initiative, learned something, and then they are here to build this community, get into the society, and propagate their knowledge. So one major aspect is propagation of knowledge, and it need not be that from day one you have the complete knowledge of say Flutter or any other stuff like that. If you are continuously learning, that is more important. Say between now and the interview, you gained a lot of knowledge in say competitive programming, let us assume. So between now and then, you have showed that while filling your application, you did not have sufficient knowledge in this field. But during between the interview, between the time of application and the interview, you started learning all by yourself, improved your skills, and then in the interview, you could show that, see, here are my results. Here, this is what I've been doing, and this is my initiative that I've taken. This is what I've learned by myself, and I would like to share this with the students who come to the workshop or something like that. So that is the initiative that you took for yourself. That is what counts the most. We do not need people who are experts in their field. We do not expect you to experts. We do not expect you to be expert in your field. But yes, we do want to see that you have some basic knowledge. You are taking some initiative to learn that thing.
Thank you, Kshitij.
No problem.
Okay, so what qualities do interviewers look in a person who they think is good for Execom position?
Okay, so talking about general exocomposition, not specific to the role, we do look for initiatives. Like I talked in my previous answer, the only thing we are looking is initiative and drive. These are the two main qualities that every Exocom member should have in our eyes.
Basically, the keen interest you're talking about.
See, interest and initiative are two different things. You might be interested in robotics, and I might be interested in, say, machine learning. Our interests are different. But say tomorrow I want to conduct a workshop and I ask my chapter heads and I propose that I would like to lead a workshop or conduct a. That is an initiative. Now, the workshop could be in the area of my interest or your interest. The interest is the domain, and the initiative is what steps I personally am taking towards the society or say sharing my knowledge and so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you.
Now, this need not be like some of you might think that you need some knowledge to even start with applying, but that is not true. We select people every year who do not have very deep understanding, or you can say in-depth knowledge of the subject, say in robotics or something. But they have a few projects, simple projects, say LFR in robotics or differential drive in robotics, or say even if they know patterns in or the control, what you say. Hmm. Okay, so in CS we even take people who have general, like they can make patterns out of code and all that. So even that much knowledge is sufficient, but you need to show us that you are taking some initiative for yourself, like you are learning, you are doing something, you are taking part in competitions. Okay, so let me take some questions from the chat. What is HKN and what are its roles? Okay, so HKN is Eta Kappa Nu. It is not called HKN, it is called Eta Kappa Nu, and it is an honorary society. It is one of I believe three in India. In one of them is in our college. It is or recognize the people who are very academically accomplished. We recognize people who are doing very well in academics. So if you believe that you have a great GPA, you are doing very well in academics, then HKN would be the, or Eta Kappa Nu would be the right platform for you. And I believe the rules are self-explanatory. If you want to talk about a particular role, I would be happy to elaborate on that. Any other questions?
Could you please give some examples of the questions you people ask in the interview?
Sure. So the general question that we always start with sounds something like introduce yourself. So that is the basic question we start with, and based on that question and your the profile that you submitted to us, maybe in the form of a resume or the questions that you have answered in our form. Based on that, we go ahead and start asking you domain specific questions. Let us say you applied for uh, the computer society, for an example. Then we would like to understand how deep is your knowledge in this area, or what all initiatives have you taken to grow your interest or pursue your interest in this area. Now then we might ask you, say you have applied for an event management position under the CS society. So then we would like to know that why are you interested in event management, what makes you interested in this, what makes you think that you would be a good fit in event management. And then based on your answer and your rest of the profile, we could dive deeper into, say, a project or an experience that you might have from school organizing a fest or something like that. So that is the general flow of the interview.
Okay.
Okay, Gaurav asks a question. We don't know the roles/duties of different posts. So how can we answer the questions like how are you suitable for this position, or why should we hire you for this post? Great. So let us assume that you okay, so first of all, you don't know about the positions, right? So let me I believe you all have links to the spreadsheet that we shared with the all available openings for the next term, so you can go through them. Then coming to the posts one by one. Thank you, Jayesh, for sharing the link. You guys can open it in a tab or something and follow along. Okay, so starting with the executive committee, the CS chapter has chairperson, a vice chairperson, a head R&D, head EM, head P&D, head creativity, and chapter representatives. Right. So the number of openings are given to the right, and the title is given on the left or the post. So the chairperson and the vice chairperson are have equal say in what direction the chapter needs to go ahead in, what all events
Could
do
you
they.
also please give a brief introduction about all the chapters?
Sure. So let me start with CS chapter as I'm talking about that. So CS chapter deals with everything in the computer science domain. Now, since computer science is a very wide domain, you might find that RAS, that is Robotics Society or other societies, have some overlapping you can say topics. So societies come together and you can say collaborate to deliver the particular event or say the workshop. Let us continue with CS chapter, CS society. So as I told you, it revolves around all computer science related topics, be it competitive programming, app development, web development. Then comes machine learning, artificial intelligence, and you can say the further topics like deep learning, natural language processing, and so on and so forth. Okay, is that sufficient, or would you like to know more?
No, thank you.
Okay, so not only do we conduct workshops every year, but we also host competitions and hackathons. So any hackathon or competition that involves some computer science component, the CS department of the CS society will take part in it. You can understand that way. So the chairperson and vice chairperson are generally chosen from the cohort that we already have with us, that is the current executive committee, because they not only need to have good knowledge about how the society functions and what all needs to be done, how everything needs to be arranged and at what time. So all these things, the managerial aspect, the understanding aspect, they would have gained that from their previous experience in BVPIEEE. So at least they have one experience working in any society, preferably BVPIEEE. Okay, so chairperson and vice chairperson are responsible for the, you can say, bigger picture and the execution of the events related to their chapter. Then comes head R&D. Generally, the job of a head R&D is to say build projects for demo, or maybe build the you can say the course plan for the upcoming workshop, or say an example that needs to be given. So the R&D is required to say build that or come up with that examples and so on and so forth for that particular event or workshop. Next is head EM. The event management part is very important when it comes to offline events. Luckily, the EMs of current EMs had a very relaxed year this academic year because of the virtual setting. But yes, they do play a very important role in the offline setting, coordinating the venue, coordinating with the staff and the management of when and where can we conduct workshops and everything related to the event itself, be it a workshop, be it a hackathon, be it anything that the CS department is doing. Moving on, the PND, publication and documentation, as the name suggests, they work on the written content and the documentation of each and every event. For every event, we need to publish not only the write-ups, then comes the content on the website, content on any social that we post. In addition, they are also responsible for writing the report after the event, which is very important for the documentation and the trail perspective, as it needs to be submitted to the college showing that yes, we did this event and these are the details for the same, so that not only now but say year hence people can refer to that report and understand how and what the event was all about and how it was conducted. The next part is head creativity, or the next post. Head creativity is responsible for all the media that you see, be it a poster or say a GIF or say a video or teaser or something like that. So any creative aspect, the head is involved in that. Then comes chapter representatives. Chapter representatives are the face of the chapter, you can say. So every chapter has a representative who is kind of the interaction or point of contact between the students and the chapter. So they are the most social among all the other posts. Now, the before moving ahead, I want to clear one thing. This is what the role suggests that you need to do. This is not the only thing that you will be doing, right? So to further delve into this, a chairperson might take part in the say event management part or say the documentation part of the whole process, or maybe the head of creativity might have some idea or might help the R&D head to build the syllabus or the plan for the next workshop. You can work across the whole title or the post stuff, but yes, if a creativity poster gets delayed, it is your responsibility as the head of creativity to coordinate that. We will question you, not the head of R&D, regarding the poster or something related to creativity. So this is the minimum amount that we expect out of you. Anything above and beyond that you do, we highly encourage that and note that, and that will help you in the coming interviews and all to prove your worth to the society and then promote it, get promoted and so on. Okay. Now moving on, the Robotics and Automation Society, as the name suggests, it deals with anything and everything related to robotics and automation. Okay, so the chairperson, vice chairperson, again the same thing. They are the you can say leading or the team leader for this department, and they have the vision and the planning for the whole year. With the help, they plan the whole year with the help of the uh, whole department, say heads and representatives. Industry automation society deals with anything that has an industrial component to it, be it the machinery or the processes that go on in the industry. Anything that has an industrial component to it, that is dealt with the IAS society. The auxiliary team is kind of you can say like a head creativity under RAS is working on the stuff related to robotic society. In the similar way, a head of, say, creativity in auxiliary team is responsible for all the stuff in the society as a whole. So it is a very crucial department that we have. All the chapters have one or two members, but the auxiliary team is for the whole society. So there are more positions open or available for you to take up. The head technical affairs deals with something related to the say web development, app development of the society. I believe you all know that we have an app and website for BVPIEEE. So anything related to that is handled by the technical affairs head. Like we had a hackathon recently, we hacked 3.0. So the head of technical affairs would have taken the lead here and maybe presented with a plan of how the hackathon would be conducted in a virtual setup, how the database and the authentication part would have been handled, the security part, and all that. The human resources, head of human resources deals with you can say the I would not use the word hiring, but onboarding of students and their any conflict that might happen, any dissatisfaction that the students have in the team. So the head HR deals with that. The public relations is somewhat similar to the role of a representative, but yes, it is a little different. They deal with the you can say outlook of the society with respect to the students or the students outside or people outside the society. EM I've already explained. Publicity, outreach, and media affairs deal with publicity, outreach, and media affairs. This could be sponsorship, publicity in other colleges, and social media, everything related to that. Now, this year we are adding a new post that is head YouTube channel manager. Since we have seen a lot of growth in our YouTube channel, we believe that it deserves special attention and a new team that could lead the charge with respect to our YouTube channel. We have been conducting workshops and sessions throughout the year, and we believe that going forward, the new normal would not only appreciate us having a new department, but also help us reach more and more people, not only in our college, but outside our college. So expanding our scope there. Creativity, I've already explained. Infrastructure and logistics is somewhat similar to EM, but they are more focused on say the planning and the you can say the if suppose we have an event, so the whiteboard, the marker, and everything needs to be there with us. Say we have an offline event that has a lunch component, so the logistics part would be handled by the head infrastructure and logistic department and the heads. Okay, so PND is self-explanatory. Student representatives, these are the student representatives in the auxiliary team are student representatives of BVPIEEE. They are the face of the society. So they are generally very outgoing and you can say very friendly and easy to talk to people with a great personality. So people generally contact the student representative if they have any doubt regarding the society. Now moving on to V affinity group. V stands for Women in Engineering. It is one of the fastest growing affinity group or say sub part of a society. So till a few years back, it was Robotics Society. CS had already a great hold. Then robotics grew a lot in our college and it gained a lot of traction. This from the last 2 years, it has been V that has been gaining a lot of you can say traction and fanfare, so to say. So The chair and vice chair have a similar role of guiding the whole society, guiding what all events need to be organized, how strategic we need to be, whom to invite, and all that. Then we secretary and star coordinator. The star program is something that I would like to touch upon here. The star programs deal with, you can say, generating awareness and bringing students who have limited resources, be it in, say, a government school or something, who do not have access to a lot of resources or do not have a lot of exposure, uh, for them to get that exposure, students from, say, our college and other affinity groups around the globe go to these under you can say funded, not funded exactly, but people with limited resources, to make them aware of what all possibilities are there outside what their social circle currently tells them about. So stuff like robotics and all these things, or maybe higher education, is not something that is discussed openly or freely, or say competitive coding or something like that is not discussed as much in the lower segment of the society as it is common in our generation. So we try to bring them up to speed and teach them something, say programming or something, through workshops and all. So that is the STAR program. You can read upon it on IEEE's website. Okay, treasurer, I believe, is self-explanatory. He or she is responsible for managing the funds, generating the funds, and closely working with the sponsorship executives, and all the money related stuff is taken care of by the treasurer. Okay, so V representative, again, they are the face of the affinity group. Moving on to the SIGs, that are student interest groups. Student interest groups are uh, built on a topic or a domain that the other chapters do not cater to, or have a very limited amount of overlap in. Say I am interested in photography, but BVPIEEE does not have a specific chapter for that. So I can ask BVPIEEE I want to open an SIG, that is student interest group, in terms of photography. Like this happened years back, and we have Drishti with us. Drishti, the photography design and creativity group. Similarly, we have a competitive programming group that is Codex. Although they have a overlap with computer society, but competitive coding, it's in and of itself, is a very niche field and a very important field. So we have a special group for that. Okay, so we have other 6 groups, like 4-5 groups more to touch upon. We have given the full forms, and I believe they are self-explanatory. These are the posts for the heads. You can be a part of SIGs apart from this. Generally, we have seen that 2 to 3 people are there in an SIG, and then more people join in from, say, the upcoming batch or the current batch, who are not part of the Exocom but would like to get associated with or learn about photography and design, etc. Or maybe it is programming or gaming or something like that. One thing I would like to clear a misconception. Gamma is not only for playing game but also developing games. So if you're interested in the game development side, Gamma would be the right place for you. Moving on, HKN, or I've already talked about this earlier, and the positions are the same. Instead of the chairperson, we call it a president. But apart from that, I believe everything is the same. Now coming to the core team, the core team is a 4 to 5 people team who are generally in the 3rd or 4th year, who have a good amount of experience in working in the society and organizing events and everything. They every chapter has a chairperson and a vice chairperson. So the core team contacts or stays in touch with the chair and vice chair throughout the session, and they are kind of the chairperson and the vice chairperson in the chapter are the link between what the whole chapter is doing and what the society is doing. So the core team is meant to lead the society in a direction. The you can say the bigger picture needs to be built up, or say the North Star needs to be provided by the core team. they have all the experience, so they mentor these students who are currently learning or have started with the society, be it in terms of organizing an event or maybe participating in a competition. Um, it could be anything. So the core team is generally selected based on their experience in societies, working in the society, preferably BVPIEEE. So that is the highest, you can say, the uh, post that you could hold in the society. Okay, so any other questions still here? I believe I've been babbling around for 15-20 minutes now. You guys can unmute, yeah. No problem. If you have questions.
Your chat.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. It is difficult for me to switch between chat and voice again and again. Okay. I believe I've covered the post uh, confusion earlier. Hmm. Uh, Anushka asks, I had a doubt. I am from first year, so I'm assuming there would be people who have more experience than me who would be more likely to get the position. Can we just be a member of these societies, or do we have to be at a position? Okay, so it is not like that. To give you some example or some idea, like you guys would be promoted to the second year by the time we have results out and the team is formed, right? So it is not like you will remain in the first year first. Then coming on to the next point, that is you will continuously be learning stuff and say in terms of your technical domain or non-tech domain, so that you can pass on to the subsequent batch, right? So it is not like if you are in first year you need to be a member of the society. Generally what happens is the core team attracts people from the third and the fourth year, right? And the executive committee attracts people from the second and the third year. So second year, that is you guys who are in the first year right now. So when you get these positions, you will be in the second year. So second and the third year people generally end up in the executive committee. So say you want to someday become a chairperson of say computer society or lead the computer society, then you need to have some experience in the computer society, right? So that you can gain by say becoming a head of creativity in computer society if you are into that. Like I alluded to before, if you have interest in computer or say the computer science domain, then you can choose a position in the computer society. Now moving on, if you have say a keen eye in detail and you have an artistic mind, then you can go into the creativity domain. So head creativity you could become if you follow this trail backwards. So yes, you can be a head creativity or any of these heads in the first year. If I miss some point, guys, please feel free. People who are here from Exocom to jump in and share your thoughts too. Anybody else who would like to ask something?
हेलो
Yeah.
जैसे हमें अभी तो कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है तो हम
Mm-hmm.
रेज्यूमे में क्या डाल सकते हैं
ओके कोई दिक्कत नहीं। तो रिज्यूमे में तुम जैसे तुमने अभी एजुकेशन कंप्लीट करी अपनी 12th तक की, वो डाल सकते हो। यू कैन ऐड योर मार्क्स इफ दे आर गुड, यू कैन ऐड योर स्ट्रीम से कंप्यूटर साइंस और मे बी फिजिकल एजुकेशन और वॉट एवर इट इज। देन यू कैन ऐड the current education, that is Bharatiya Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, maybe whatever field you are in, IT, CSE or whatever, EC, EEE, IC. Then you can add your current GPA if you feel like we should know that. Then you could make some projects that you could show off, or maybe something that you did in your school time, maybe organize the fest or maybe did something on Teachers Day or something like that. काफी चीजें होती हैं स्कूल में, तो उसमें से कुछ डाल सकते हो। Maybe you were the monitor of the class. That is also a good thing to highlight at this level. So you could add everything like that, and maybe you have won some awards even if it is in sports or say dance or something like that, you could add that. Then अभी काफी टाइम हो गया तुम्हें कॉलेज आए हुए, you might have attended some webinar or something like that, and you might have learned something, made a project out of it, something like that. So you could highlight those projects, why you made those projects, or maybe you participated in a competition. You could mention that I participated in so and so and built this. Yeah, ये हमारा idea था. You could start building your resume like this. Uh, Keep it to one page. तुम्हें one page भी भरना मुश्किल लगना चाहिए at this point, right? So you should find it difficult to fill that one page. You need to think on those lines. So don't add something that is very irrelevant, but add something that would say show your interest, show us your dedication, show us your work ethic, time management, general management, people skills, anything like that. Maybe you conducted a assembly at your school, so that shows that you're good at public speaking. So you need to relate what work did you do and what all skills can you highlight out of that. You need to bring that up in the resume. Something that is said very often is you need to show, not tell. So by you saying that you conducted a assembly in your school, you are not telling us, you are showing that you are good at public speaking. So something like that we really appreciate.
Okay, thank you.
And if you don't have projects right now, I would suggest you have time, you could build some. Even if it is following a tutorial, we don't mind, because we understand that you're in first or second year, you are still in the learning phase. So if you could follow a tutorial, gain some understand, not only blindly follow the tutorial, but yes, you need to understand what the concept is behind that. Then we really look forward to it. Okay, guys, I believe that everybody's questions are answered. If not, then this is the right time, guys. Please come forward and ask. Any tips or tricks, say, in filling the form or building a resume that was asked, or anything of that sort? I could answer that for you. Okay, till the time you're thinking of questions, let me touch upon one thing. We ask you for what all positions you're interested in, and then your plan of action during the next academic year in that position. So you need to think very carefully and deeply on what all is possible first of all, and then what all would you like to do. This is the right time you could say get in touch with the current person who is in that position and understand what all they have been doing and what did they plan on doing. So that is a good way to go about it. And then build up a plan. How will you bring more you can say attention to the society or the chapter, or maybe if you are working on a workshop or something, then, like, to give an example, in the winter break, as an R&D head of Robotics and Automation Society, I conducted a drone building and light painting workshop in the winter break, right? So that was an idea that I put forward, and the my current the RA's current then chairperson rather agreed upon it, and then the core also guided me regarding the same, and then we had that event. So throughout Delhi NCR, I believe we had 100 people who visited our college to attend that workshop. So everything and anything is possible. You just need to think about it, right? So I was in second year, I believe. Yeah, second year probably when I conducted this workshop. So you see, you could do everything in your second year, like conducting a whole workshop and people paying and attending my workshop was something that I never dreamt of in school, right? So if you are interested in something, have some knowledge, you want to share that, please feel free to add that in your plan of action. Okay, any other questions, guys?
नहीं भैया मेरे
Chaitanya, Himani, would you like to cover something?
Hi, okay. So I guess mainly for points are covered. Am I audible?
Yeah, please go ahead.
O- Okay. So the main thing is like many students will face particular one doubt. Like, does Ash has told that in second year he organized a particular workshop. So one important point that has come to my mind that many previous students feel this particular doubt, like does our position or title matters if we are organizing or if we are taking an initiative? Would someone stop us or would will core support our idea? We are on this particular position, and who will going to support this idea or who will going to support our this particular plan of action, and this particular doubt comes in each and every one of you. Okay, so one answer would be this, like Ashutosh has organized a workshop. I've also in second year I've organized a particular one event. Its name is Plan for India, and at that time I was a ESL head. So, as a head of a SIG, I have collaborated with the one chapter that is IAS, Industrial Automation Society, and we have come up with this particular. I have initiated this idea, and the whole team, in fact, the team of volunteers and Exocom team, has worked on my particular idea to make that idea come into a reality. Okay, so your position, title, and your response, basically your initiative. It doesn't matter on what position you are. Your initiative matters. First thing. Second thing is, at that time, when I was taking the lead of a whole team, so no one has raised the question that you are on this particular position. How can you conduct or how can you manage such type of you? That's everything all about the initiative as well as the interest of you guys. Like if you are, such as if you are right, if we have asked a question from you in a form that what is your plan of action, okay, of this particular year, or on if you get this particular position, so what you will initiate or what kind of lead you will take, okay. So that means we are trying to know that what how will you improve, like how will you improve the execution of a particular organization, as well as we are in that particular situation we are trying to analyze that how much good you are in just getting the out of box idea. Okay, so at that time, the Plan for India or the workshop which was organized by Shitit was completely the out of box ideas. Like at that time, it doesn't at that particular time it was not organized by any other society or any other chapters when these ideas were come into our minds and when we have taken initiative on it. Okay, so the main point is that you don't have to feel any inferior about your position, or you don't have to feel any inferiority complex about the role which you have been appointed or some kind of. You have to just when you are when you've been part of our execom, you have to learn to take an initiative. You need to be the lead, you need to know how to take a lead on this. Like if you are organizing something or if you are I can not on events only, if you are such as if you are organizing a particular project plan or a research initiative, I say, so you should know that how to execute your ideas also. You need to learn. Learning is a main thing. Taking initiative is also one thing, and the most important thing is to execute. It should not be over the paper. It should be into a reality. So learn all these things, and like you should know how to how to go with your idea, how to lead the team, or how to handle the events. So these qualities you should have to be like when you are being a part of an execom. You don't have to, you have to be focused on these qualities also. Okay, so that's all from my side. Baki Mani, if you want to add something, you can add.
Okay, so let me share one thing that students who were part of the society and are now in the industry in a job in maybe a research setup or anything like that. So they say that although society work is not directly a major factor of their recruitment, but what they have noticed is that their progression in their career or their pace of, you can say, getting a raise or say getting promoted is faster than people who are not part of any society. So could anybody come up with an idea why is that so? I will share that, but I would like you guys to first try your hand at it. Like why people who were in the societies, maybe in the school or college, get promotions or climb the ladder faster in a corporate setup. Okay, so the answer.
Maybe they take more initiatives and they are more
Mhm.
interactive.
Yeah, you are on the right track. So the answer to this question is that they learn a very crucial skill, that is people skill. How to talk to people, how to get your work done, how to communicate your ideas, how to lead a team. These people skill are very important when you enter the job or when you enter anything, be it research or be it a non-profit or anything, that any paths that you would like to take going forward. Even time management also comes in under this umbrella. That these skills that you learn during your time in the society. So don't think like Chaitanya mentioned that your title. Don't feel that your title is meant to bound you or belittle you. It your title just mentions what all minimum things that you need to do or what all minimum stuff that you are responsible for. Apart from that, whatever you do is upon you. Nobody is stopping you. And as Jasmine mentioned, that the initiative that you take also counts a lot. So that is the same not only in the society but also after your BTech is over. The initiative that you take, the time management skill, the people management skill, soft skills, all these develop during these years, so 3 or 4 years that you are part of the society. The second thing that I would also like to point out is that BVPIEEE is one of the biggest society in our college, and it attracts a wide, you can say, uh, variety of people. I am not getting the right word, but yeah. So people, if I am going for an MS right now, so I could find people on LinkedIn and other places who have already traveled the path I'm going to travel. Like if I'm going for an MS abroad, there are already people from IEEE whom I could take mentorship or guidance from. Similarly, people who are going for an MBA, IEEE builds your network in such a way that you can always find seniors who are uh, who are going on or who are already on a path that you would like to be on one day, be it in terms of higher education, in terms of industrial job or something like that, or a startup maybe. So all these things, this networking aspect is you can say the highlight of being an IEEE, or maybe in any society, depending on what society you join. Please make sure that the people whom you are working with kind of help you or kind of help you network going forward. Networking is a very crucial thing that you will realize going forward. Okay, so if we do not have any other questions, we can wind up the session. Okay, Himani, I believe we can wind up the session. Please go ahead. Himani, Amol, any one of you could wind up the session.
Yes, I think we can wind up the session. There are no more questions coming up. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us. It was great to have you. We hope that we could clear all your doubts. Still, if you have any doubts or any queries and they come up later on, you can just post them in the group, in the info groups if you're added there, or you can contact us directly too. So thank you for being with us.
All the best, guys. All the best.